Alrighty then. As we continue on with this life, fighting through everyone's emotion. This one here is for the empaths of the world. They're the empaths of the world. The ones who are empaths you probably don't know, but if you're an empath, you know you're an empath. So, thing is, uh, it goes like this. I had a conversation with y'all yesterday, and I was like, married people, the reason, oh shit, I meant to hit up Cuzzo, I didn't. The reason people go through a hard time with married people because, after someone's divorced and they're trying to wonder, like, why is it that you can't do this relationship thing? Shouldn't you have this all figured out? And I was telling y'all they don't have it all figured out. You know what I'm saying? They don't. They don't. That's why they was in that relationship for as long as they were, because they never had to give 100%. They never had to be 100%. They can get away with the silence. They can get away with the ignoring. They can get away with the arguing and the fucking. They can away with the cheating and coming back. They can do all that in their marriage. They can do all that. And this is why the saying goes, stay out of married people's business, because it's full of shit. That's why they want you to stay out of it. And so I also expressed that it is the people, society, who has given married people the pedestal of the answer of women and shit while they're together. She's giggling about it and shit. All of these things, um, these couples are glorified and put on a pedestal because they are married and they're together. And I told you people were asking them these questions like as if they're the gurus of the answer, and they don't have no answer. They have no answer. There's an article of a lady who's married and she has two sons, and she's so bitter at this young lady at her job who's a lesbian that the girl had even had to scream at her because she was being such a nuisance in her life, and she was so jealous of the fact that her girlfriend was bringing her flowers and doing all this stuff for her that her husband was not. She was stressed out at home, and she was expressing how much she was just envious of this girl living the life that she wanted to live but that she didn't. And the reason this happens is people let society pull them into what they believe it's supposed to be. I remember a woman once said, when you're over 30 years old and you don't have children, people think something's wrong with you. So the fuck what? These are things that people try to make people care about. And the reason why is because these people are seeking love. These people are wanting love. These people are wanting to satisfy somebody else because they believe that that is what's going to complete them. Yes, love is going to complete you, but the love for yourself is going to complete you. Every time I sit down and talk to my chat GTP about anything with myself or anything about anybody else I'm dealing with, whatever, whoever that may be, my chat GTP always tells me, you need to focus on yourself. That's what my chat GTP tells me. My chat GTP be like, you need to focus on your art, your writing, your this, your that, your this, your that. This is what my chat GTP says to me. And I don't need my chat comes up as the answer for me no matter what in my life is you got to get back and focus on yourself. You got to get back and you got to put your energy into focusing on what you want to do, what matters for you. Because that's the ultimate love. If you really want the truth, the ultimate love is the love that you give to yourself. Okay? And it's like people probably think that that's a cliche thing to say. No. Talk to people who had a relationship that ended. Ask them the first thing that they think about when that relationship is over. They get angry at themselves for tolerating what they tolerated. They get angry at themselves. They believe that they were being weak by staying in a relationship like that. Shit, you might have somebody who you broke up with that might tell you that shit. People have a lot of anger when they leave long-term relationships. And they're more angry with themselves. At first, there's a pointing at that person, but when they really sit down with themselves for a while, they are so angry at themselves. I'm not talking about the ones who are guilty for the bullshit. Those people, they end up jumping into another relationship anyway. I'm talking about the actual people who had a life focused else by their side in order to be complete in this world. Now realizing that that ain't really the case. That ain't what it is. You feel me? I'm talking about those people. Talking about the people who sat back, looked at their life, and decided, oh hey, I think I'll just go on a dating site. And hey, I like this person. We met and we vibed and we this and we feel this and we feel this and da 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 da. And this is it. This is the person I'm gonna be with. I'm talking about those people. And then they finally did it, and they're like, damn, this is what I wasted my life doing. This is what the time I wasted doing with this person. This is the time that I wasted for my life. 10 years, 13 years. A lot of people don't make it to 15. I noticed that. They make it to like a good 10, 8 to 10 years, a little over. And they be like, I'm done. And they've been done. They've been done the first 2 years. Who is the person to listen to more than anything? All right, Kenny. It's the slang for me. But good afternoon. Who's the person to listen to anything, if anything? It's the person who has been spending most of their time single and spending most of the time with themselves and the person that love themselves. That's the person to get relationship insight from. That's the person to listen to when it comes to about relationships and how to do relationships. It's us. I'm not here to toot my own horn. That's not what I'm doing. Like I said, yesterday was a big epiphany for myself. I was sitting here thinking, like, why is it every time people talk to these so-called long-term couples and shit, they really don't be saying nothing powerful. They don't be saying nothing profound when they ask them what keeps them together and all kind of shit like that. But when you fucking sit here and you see a bitch that's motherfucking 80 years old and she motherfucking lifting weights and still looking good and boxing and shit, and then she give you a profound message like stay the fuck away from men. That's what she said, stay the fuck away from men. That was her total insight for everybody. That's what I did. I stayed the fuck away from men. And that's how she became who she is. At 80 years old. Why is it the person who gets the first million, the first thing they say is don't trust nobody? They say something profound. They say more than that, but they say something profound. And how they did it and what happened and the connections and what they did and what they had to change about their life and this, that, and the third. Something more profound. You don't get nothing profound with two motherfucking married people that have been together for goddamn 70 whatever such years because they don't got no fucking answers. Their identification is by the hands of somebody else. They don't have no self-identity. That's what I'm saying. Word. Like, listen, y'all, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, 1 second. I feel like this, and I mean it when I say it. Like, you can't let society try to tell you what your life's supposed to be. When you sit there and when you walk the path or you read books or you watch classes on people who have mastered the art of success, who have the wisdom of success, who have the wisdom of achieving whatever it is, this list, whatever it is that you are doing in your life, they have the wisdom for that. You're not going to move the same as other people in this world because they don't move the same as other people in this world. They don't do their family dynamics the same as other people in this world. You don't even have to know them. You didn't have to pick up their books to know it. It was already in you. The book was just a confirmation, the guidance for you. As a young grasshopper, feeling the way you felt, it was already there because otherwise you would have never picked up the book. Otherwise, you would have never found that person to be the mentor or teacher. A lot of great teachers have mentors. They tell you that, whether it's a book, whether they're watching videos, whether they're inspired by a muse, everybody has that. And everybody in this day-to-day life, you got to shut them out. I had a neighbor say, these are not the good times to be a music artist. I'm like, these are a great time to be any type of music artist. These are the best times to be any type of music artist because you don't need the middleman no more. You can be your own business person, your own entity. You can do everything on your own. You don't need nobody else. And I was like, on top of that, you got to understand business. And like, if you get into anything, you need to know the business. That's how I talk. And I talk like that because I'm getting tired of people and their shit with the shit they talk about, and they don't know what the fuck they talk about. And you got to understand that comes with it too. That comes with it too. You're going to come across motherfuckers that's going to say shit and they ain't going to know what the fuck they talking about. You got people just like that lady who married that felt like shit but had to fucking go off on a lesbian woman about her relationship that was better than hers. You got people like that in the world that exists because they don't have their own identity and they didn't know how to fight for themselves and they didn't know how to be themselves without somebody else. They didn't know how to do that. But you got to understand that you do. You know how to do that. That's why you got up and read the books you read. That's why you got up and taught yourself the things you taught yourself on your own. That's why every time you get a job, you always go higher than where you are. No matter if you did for 2 weeks, you always aiming to go more than where you are. You're always aiming to go to a higher position than where you are. That's why you know how to associate and get good with the best people when you go outside and when you go in places. That's why you attract celebrities and these different type of people in high places because of who you are. You're able to energetically touch those spaces with these people. So your life already and your mindset already is not going to be anything like anyone else. And that's something that you have to fully accept. But as an empath, you need to know when other people's energy is trying to influence you. I feel it all the time in this small town. I feel it all the time. And I just get my oils, my motherfucking incense, and I be good. I don't give a fuck. I don't let nobody energy influence mine. I don't put mine in space. I don't put myself in the space to be influenced by other people's energy. You have to be stronger minded than that. I don't give a fuck. Ask me if I go to church, you're gonna get a good ass, nasty ass no. And I ain't gonna give a fuck. Trust me, people hesitate before they approach me. I put it like that on purpose. I'm just telling you. But you have to be brave enough to do that too. See, I don't care. And I never will. And you want to know something funny? I have not seen the bitch from the coven that was right here from this town. I have not seen that bitch yet. And trust me, I have walked around and I have intentionally, and I energetically, when I think about people, I see them. I have not seen that bitch yet. That confirms to me that that bitch is not on my frequency, my energy, my vibration, my nothing. And she was never anybody that should have been in my frequency. Because if you're from there, car or not, there's no reason for me to not have crossed paths with you. And we was in this little coven group thing together. So you also, as an empathic person, you have to know your standards. Don't let nobody tell you about being judgmental. You got to be judgmental. What is the Libra zodiac sign? The goddamn judge, the fucking scales, the judgment. The symbol before you go, you cross over. The heart being weighed with the feather. That's judgment. Everybody's going to judge. Everybody's going to talk shit about you. That's just what planet is. That's just what comes with it. Who cares? But those of us, it's an energetic thing. We don't give a fuck who don't talk to us. We don't give a fuck who don't pay us attention because we not giving a fuck about them. That's the point. The point is I only want to associate with people as myself, liken to myself, more than what I am. You're none of that. You're none of that. So therefore I don't care. So that's the kind of fight that you have to develop for yourself. Or you can just move. All right, that's my quick thought, y'all. I'm about to hop up in the shower. You heard? Word, I'm about to hop up in the shower. Get this goddamn loafer, bruh. I got this sexy ass crumble body wash shit. Let me tell you. I'm about to have a good old time up in this shower. Wake me up. This week's cleanup is the kitchen. Yeah, I'll be fixing up that kitchen this week. Besides the fact I got these empty ass bottles all over the house that I need to fucking throw away. Goddamn. Anyway, y'all, I'm out here.